Ruby, Ruby, Roo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. Ruby, Ruby, Roo. I'm your co-host, Scooby Doo, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you don't know about. Ruby, Ruby, Roo. Ruh-oh, Rex, Raggy. Today's guest is broadcasting all the way from Croatia. She's been on the show before, making a wonderful raw vegan candy box. Please welcome back to the show as she makes Marina salad and cucumber rolls, Chef Marina Grubic. Ruby, Ruby, Roo. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Oh, that was really great. I never had a co-host before. Happy Halloween, everyone. Do they celebrate Halloween in Croatia?
Not that much. It's not as popular as in America here in this part of the world. That's why I was so willing to take this day for your show, because I know it's probably difficult for you to find someone in America where this holiday is so popular. Here in this part of the world, and we are talking about Eastern Europe, Halloween is not the most popular holiday here, but it is celebrated here and there. People like sometimes to put on masks and just pretend that they are someone else.
That is so cool. You know, it's so interesting that so many of the raw chefs, they don't live in the United States, and yet they're able to make it work in England and Canada and Sweden and Italy. That's amazing. I guess.
Absolutely. That's what I love about this. Well, this community of raw vegans around the world, because we are, I believe, showing to people that it is easy and doable to be a raw vegan anywhere in the world, basically. Okay, if you go to the Antarctic, it might be challenging, but otherwise, it is possible. It is absolutely doable.
I wonder if there are any raw vegans in the Antarctica.
Yeah, well, they might be raw, but they might not be vegan.
Oh, that's true. You could be raw without being vegan. Well, one nice thing about the Antarctica, although I learned you cannot live there full time, is they have no spiders.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they have a Spider-Man though.
Yeah, because I'm afraid of spiders. We have such big ones here in the desert, you know.
I know. I know why you're afraid of them.
I don't know. And they do such good. I'm trying to have a guy on the show that is like the spider whisperer, but I don't know. You know, it's funny because I'm not afraid of the ones that are dangerous, like black widows, because they kind of just stay. But we have these gigantic spiders called wolf spiders. They carry like hundreds of babies on their back, and I don't know, they freak me out. So what can I tell you? I'm not going to hurt them or anything, you know, but anyway, hey, Mandy's watching. Mandy's from Australia, and she's raw too.
Well, hi, Mandy. What's up in Australia?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they might still be in lockdown.
Yeah, I'll just change the setting on my laptop because it has just went dim the screen. So let me just say this.
I can see you though, so don't worry. So yeah, you're part of the Raw Vegan Bundle. Do you know what your book is at your offering?
Yeah, absolutely. So my book is my brand new book, which is called Dehydrator Recipes. And this book is, as I said, is a brand new. And as the title implies itself, it is full of recipes that are made in a dehydrator.
Cool. Yeah, I saw it. It looks really good.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Today is the second to last day of the Raw Vegan Bundles. If anybody's interested, I'll put a link.
Yeah. Yeah. So it finishes tomorrow, and it is such a huge, incredible value for such a little investment. People get over 50 ebooks, courses, audios, you name it, all about raw veganism, health, fitness, yoga, and so on, for as little as less than $1 per item per book, and even just the collaboration holiday recipe book, I would say it is worth buying this bundle because that's the book that you will get nowhere else. And this bundle expires as soon as tomorrow. So it is like the last 2 days.
And if you participated in the April bundle, these are all new books, guys, all different courses, all different books, and all different recipes. But I agree with you. The holiday book is extraordinary. I'm in that one too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I absolutely love what Lisa has made with that book. And what I love about that book is not just the design, which is beautiful, but also the fact that so many people from around the world have come together with the same mission, with the same goal, with the same beliefs about diet, and brought together all these beautiful recipes and made a collaboration holiday book. The recipes are just stunningly beautiful. Design is great. So that book alone is worth buying this bundle.
I agree. And Ted Carr's $2,000 business course, that's pretty sweet.
It's like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yep. Well, gosh, that was so great that I got Scooby-Doo to introduce you. I mean, who thought you would be introduced by a big Hollywood star?
Yeah, that's like, I'm so humbled.
That I know you usually live in Serbia. Do they know what Scooby-Doo is in your country?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when I was little, we had this. When I was little, we hardly had a TV. It was in my kindergarten age that we just were playing outside. Didn't know what a TV was. But then when we got a TV, everything went downwards in terms of like our playtime outside versus the watching TV inside. And then when I was, I think, 12 or 13 or something, we got the satellite programs, and we also got the Cartoon Network, which is in itself, it's filled with cartoons, and it just prevents children from playing outside. But anyway, there was a Scooby-Doo there, so we know well who that is.
Yeah, good. Well, he's pretty popular here too.
Yeah.
So today you're not going to do dehydrated recipes because that would probably take too long on a live.
Absolutely. And I don't have a dehydrator here because this is not my kitchen. I'm just visiting. It happened that I've been here in Croatia for the past 2 weeks, but when I agreed to make this live with you, I thought I was going to be in my home in Serbia. However, due to some business circumstances, I had to come here to Croatia. So I am now streaming from a kitchen in the apartment where I have lived for the past 2 weeks. So this is not my original kitchen. I wanted to greet you in my original kitchen because I love it so much. And what is fun about it is a stove/cooker free. There is no cooking device in my kitchen, but I do have a fully equipped kitchen for raw vegan diet. So I do have a dehydrator, and that is my quote unquote stove. But now I don't even have a dehydrator. However, I wanted to make this live to show people how they can eat a raw vegan diet, even if they are not in a fully equipped kitchen for a raw vegan diet. So as I said, this is not my kitchen, and I don't have my whole equipment like my own blender and food processor and dehydrator, but I still maintain my raw vegan diet because it's such a simple diet. Here, I only have this simple blender, and I have a couple of tools. I don't even have a pretty wooden bowl that I usually like to use, or my bowl in which I like to make a mixing bowl for making salads. I have something that I don't even own in my home because I do not like metal. I like in my kitchen, I think there is a single metal item. I just don't prefer that. So this is a metal, I don't know, even this container, something that I don't even own, but I'm going to be making my salad in this. And for the sauce, I'm just going to use this simple dehydrator over there. And then I do have a knife and a cutting board and a couple of tools. But yeah, it is very, very simple because this diet is so very simple.
Nice. Great. All right. So what are you going to make?
Okay, so today I'm going to make a version of my all-time favorite salad, which is my favorite. So I love it so much that I actually shamelessly called it by myself. So it is Marina's salad, and you can find the full original salad on the recipe for the original Marina's salad on my website howloves.net. So if you just go to my website and then go to the section which is called kitchen, there are my recipes all grouped into different groups. And if you go to salads, there are a couple of salads, and one of them is Marina's salad. So that would be my original salad over there. However, today I'm going to make a little bit a different version of my traditional Marina's salad. So that would be the first dish. And then after that, I'm going to make a delicious dessert with which is called cucumber date rolls.
Great. Well, the stage is yours.
Okay, well, thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to your show for the third time already. As I said, today we are going to make Marina's salad plus cucumber date rolls. I hope that you're going to enjoy these recipes and that you're going to make them often. So let's start with Marina's salad. We're gonna use one head of iceberg lettuce. You can use any other lettuce of your choice. I like to use also just butterhead lettuce, but for now, here I use my iceberg lettuce. I went ahead and already chopped it nicely. You can use the food processor with a shredding blade to chop it nicely, or you can just chop it by hand. That's what I did for this time. And here I have this container of chopped iceberg lettuce. But now we're going to add another lettuce to this, and this is going to be just some very I didn't really know what kind of lettuce this is. What would it be called in English? It is not romaine. It is not butterhead. It is, well, some really tender young leaves. And now I'm going to chop it really finely, and then I'm going to add it to my already chopped iceberg lettuce. In order to chop something, I like to use my chopping like protective glove. Let's call it that way, protective glove. So I put it on, and then I also like to use my hygienic gloves. So that when I'm in contact with food, especially if I'm preparing food for other people, I just like to wear hygienic gloves just for the sake of hygiene. So I'm going to put this on, and my protective glove is on my left hand because I'm chopping the lettuce with my right hand. And of course, if you are chopping your ingredients with your left hand, just wear the protective glove on your right hand. So now we're going to chop this. When you are chopping a salad or any other ingredients, this is what I like to do. I do this. I don't really know what's the name of this motion. So you press the top of the knife into the cutting board, and then you just chop your ingredients, but you are not lifting the knife, or at least you're trying not to lift it altogether. The top of the knife is always touching the cutting board, and then you're just going along and chopping your ingredients. So now we have chopped it widthwise, and now I'm going to turn this around and again take this whole bunch of already chopped lettuce in one direction and then chop it all the way. Okay. All right. So everything has been chopped now. And now I'm just going to add this to my already chopped iceberg lettuce on top of this. I like to include sometimes different types of salads. And if you notice that there is a leaf that is a little bit wrinkled or just not nice in color and shape, just take it out, just like I have done right now. So we are going to put this on top of our already chopped iceberg lettuce. As for the mixing bowl at home, I have big mixing bowls that I like to use, but I even like the fact that I found myself in this position where I don't have my fully equipped kitchen for my diet, so that I can show you how you can prepare delicious and healthy meals wherever you find yourself. Because I find that one of the most common excuses for not eating healthy is when is people say that they travel or they're in a hotel room or they don't have equipment. So right now I want to show you how you still can do it even if you have limited equipment. Anyway, so I put here my chopped salad, and there are two types of salads. One is iceberg and the other is well, I don't really know the name. I don't want to lie to you, but it's just some tender leaves, and it's not butterhead, it's not romaine, it's just some other, but it is very delicious. Anyway, so the third step would be to add a sauce. In my original version of my Marina salad, the sauce is made with orange juice, hemp seeds, and a little bit of mint or oregano or any kind of spice that you want. But now we are going to use another version, and also I would like to put this out with making another version. Sometimes people, when they see original recipe and they think, oh, now it's not the season of this and that ingredient, and they like they decide not to make the recipe altogether. However, if they just use a little bit of their imagination, they will realize that the recipe, yeah, it is great if you can make it original, but if you don't have all the ingredients, just replace them with something else. If it's not the season of oranges in the place where you are now, just find something else. It can be done. Just don't quit just because you don't have every single recipe per se. So, in my original recipe, we are making a Marina salad with not the orange juice, but the tangerine juice and hemp seeds. However, here we are going to make the dressing with zucchini and about 30 grams. That's about 1 ounce of butternut squash seeds. So let's start. First, we are going to cut off the edges, the top edges of this zucchini, and then we are going to, just a second, here it is, to peel the zucchini. If anyone has any question for me, just please feel free to ask me, and I'll be more than happy to answer to you.
Yep, just put it in the chat, guys.
Yep.
If you have any questions. There was a cookware question, but that is not for you because you don't cook anything. So
yeah, I don't even have devices for cooking. The last time I was cooking something was February 2012, and that was the last time I had a cooked meal. And then I just chose for myself to go on a raw vegan diet and not cook anymore. And as I said, my kitchen doesn't even have any device for cooking. So yeah, maybe not a question for me, but otherwise I would be happy to answer to you. So my fully equipped raw vegan kitchen has a pretty strong blender. I'm not going to name the names because they haven't paid the commercial here, but here I have just a simple blender, and yeah, it doesn't work as well as some high quality blender, I have to say, but it is still doable. It is still a blender and it still can make my dressing. So with the blender that I have, I would usually typically just cut this zucchini into bigger chunks. But with this blender, I really have to make them as small as possible so to make this thing even work. But as I said, with this presentation of mine, I just want to encourage people that when they find themselves not such a favorable conditions where they don't have everything perfect, do not quit. Do not just there is always a way. Where is will, there is a way. So that's my motto in life. So here we're just going to cut this into smaller chunks, and then we're going to put them into the blender. So this is one probably of my all-time favorite bases for any dressing. It's zucchini, and zucchini is such a huge lifesaver for me in any of my raw vegan recipes, because it is such a versatile and so useful vegetable. It can be made in so many different textures and shapes, like zucchini pasta, either spaghetti or fettuccine or lasagna, or even a pizza crust, or even the base for any dressing. So zucchini is I don't know. It's like a bread. It's like a bread on a raw vegan diet when it comes to savory dishes. Bananas would probably be or mangoes if you have access to them. Honey mangoes would be like the bread on when it comes to fruit meals, and this zucchini is like the base of the bases for every savory meal, at least in my case. Okay, so we have put one finely chopped zucchini here in this pretentious blender, and now we are going to add like an ounce. You can even put 2 ounces if that's okay with you. I like to keep it low fat of butternut squash seeds. I pre-soaked them for a couple of hours. You usually want to soak your seeds for ideally for 8 hours and your nuts for 12 hours, because that's how you, well, I'm gonna say rehydrate them, even though I do understand that you cannot rehydrate something that has been dehydrated. You can only, I don't know, soak them and make them, well, what I want to say is that you cannot put back their original water, but at least they are soaked, so they are easier to digest. And if you can even sprout them a little bit, put them a little bit longer to sprout, that that makes them even more digestible. So anyway, so we put them in here. All right, so we have our seeds in here, and now we are going to add some spices. You can add any spice you want, but I am so super excited about the spice that I have. So a couple of days ago, I bought fresh rosemary, and now I'm going to show you what I have done with it. So here, just a second.
Do you remember what your last meal was that was cooked, you said, in 2012?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it was potatoes because even before I went raw vegan, I was eating such a simple vegan diet, and my cooked meals were always either oatmeal, either lentils, and either potatoes. So I think it's one of those three. I believe it was potatoes, but don't take me for word. So it's one of those trees, because that's what I was eating for a couple of years. Like anytime I was cooking something, it was either potatoes or lentils or oatmeal. It was like my staple. Anyway, so the other day I bought the rosemary, which smells so deliciously, and then I put it in this bag, reusable bag, and I just hanged it upside down so it dries over time, and then I can collect these leaves and put them, for example, in a little jar, and I have such a, well, I wanted to say fresh but dried delicious spice. And now I'm just going to take a couple of these leaves. You can see how they are now falling apart and making a mess in my video, in my kitchen, but doesn't matter because the kitchen is not mine. I'm just kidding. So I'm just going to put a couple of leaves here in the blender, and oh, it already smells so deliciously. You want to put this in a bag because it's just when it's really dry, it starts to fall down everywhere. But anyway, so that's the spice, and I really like to keep it low when it comes to spices. But if you want to add something else, you can definitely do it. Perhaps some dried onion or dried garlic if you like it, or dried dill. That's one of my favorite. In my dehydrator recipe book, which is available in the bundle and will be available on my website soon as a separate book, there is also a section for how to make spices. So I love having those like freshly dried spices in my home. I dry in my dehydrator, like you name it: celery, dill, parsley, green onion. What else? Rosemary was not dried in the dehydrator. Mint. So we can dry so many different spices and always have this delicious spice to your dressing or even some cakes and desserts. So anyway, so in here we have three ingredients. We have zucchini, which is always, well, not always, but is one of the staple bases in raw vegan dressings. And then we have a little bit of something that is fatty, which is in this case butternut squash seeds. And then we have the spice, which is in this case rosemary. And now you can play with this. For example, you can replace the butternut squash seeds with hemp seeds, which are shelled hemp seeds or hemp hearts, which are definitely my favorite, or sunflower seeds, or even maybe pine nuts or almonds. Cashews would be the seeds, nuts that I personally do not use nor recommend. And you can also have whichever spice you want. And in this case, I used rosemary. So now we are going to add some water, just because this is, as I said, a pretentious blender, but I'm happy to have it anyway. If I had my blender that I use at home, I would not use any water. But anyway, let's water it up, even though it's not my favorite thing to do, just to keep it going. So now, please protect your ears, because this is going to be really, really loud. At home, I have those ear protection, like ear protective headset that people who are doing on buildings, they use them. And the reason I have those, as I said, you can check out my YouTube channel and find the video, my kitchen, about my kitchen, where I show you everything around my kitchen and how it has no stove or cooker and what I use in my kitchen. Anyway, what I wanted to say that the damage from the noise on your ears is accumulative over time, and it is such a good idea to protect your ears whenever you are using any loud appliances or device such as a blender. So shortly, just protect your ears, and let's blend this up. Are you ready?
You betcha.
I'm gonna go anyway.
That's weird, because usually Zoom mutes the blender. And when you get a chance, Marina, Colleen wanted to know what was your decision to go raw.
Oh, well, thank you for asking me that. It's a good question. So I first went vegan in 2005 because of my beliefs about being compassionate towards other beings on this planet. So that's my first and foremost reason for going vegan. But then in 2012, I came across the book, The 80-10-10 Diet, that I had honored to translate into my mother tongue of Serbian. And that book was life-changing for me when it comes to just thinking about health and diet. And it definitely made me go raw vegan and stick to it. But beside that, I always loved fruit the most. When I was a kid, I remember my favorite food on this planet was just fruit that is seasonal and that is available in our garden. So when I found out that not only I can live on fruit and veggies, but fruit is my main calorie source, so I found out that not only I can live on it, but I can thrive on it, because that is our biological diet. I was so happy. So for me, it was no brainer. I never looked back, and I just love fresh fruits and vegetables. I wouldn't choose any other diet in this world. So yeah, it just was for me. It was for me. So anyway, I made this sauce. It smells so good. And now we are going to pour this over the chopped lettuce. Over the chopped lettuce. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to take my spatula, which is such an important tool in the kitchen. And we're gonna take everything out from this blender. Nice. Okay, and here. Okay, so here it is. And now this is the part where hygienic gloves really come in handy. We are going to massage this all this chopped lettuce and the sauce together. And I find this particular part of making a salad to be a very important one. When you massage the ingredients with your hands, it's just they soak up the the dressing so much better. That's at least what I find. So now I don't need my protective gloves anymore. I use it only when I chop ingredients. I have put on my hygienic gloves, and now I'm going to just to massage everything and then transfer into plates. And it's fun. But you know, if you're not a fan of touching your food with your hands, even though that you're having gloves, you can always just maybe use some utensils for mixing the ingredients into the dressing, or dressing into the ingredients, whichever way you like to look at it. So now I'm just mixing this. Okay, and here it goes. We are going to put this into our plates, or at least into one plate, because I have a special idea for the other plate. That's why I put two plates here. I want to show you how you can always make your salad more interesting. So here right now we have a bunch of this salad in my plate. But now we are going to decorate that with some other ingredients. I'm going to take my all-time favorite, lamb's lettuce. It is over here. And what I like to do is just to take some of this and then put it around this beautiful salad, like so. All the way around this plate. And this salad, I promise, it's gonna be so tasty and look so and looks so beautiful. I just love it. When I started making this salad, well, there are like 2 or 3 versions of it on my website, being the original one. I fell in love so much that I shamelessly named it after myself, right? Why not?
That's funny.
So,
people are asking, what do you do with the peeled zucchini, the peel of the zucchini?
oh, I just throw it away. I do know that some people like to use it, and some people, even when they are making zucchini zolos, they leave the skin on. For some reason, I cannot eat skin of even cucumbers or zucchinis, or it's just not for me. So I just throw it away. But as I said, there are people who really like it and who use them, the peels. So now we're going to add some pomegranate arils on top of this salad, and you can also mix this in the whole salad. But just for the sake of this presentation, I saved them just to put them on top. And we're not going to use all of them because some of them are going to go onto the other plate, which I'm going to show you just in a second. So, and here we're gonna add another here, and voila, look at this. Look at this. This would be Marina's salad. Can you see?
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, I really love it. And it's so tasty, and it's so refreshing and so light. So this is Marina's salad. However, now I would like to show you another version of how you can present this dish. And with showing you another version, I just want to inspire you to use your imagination and always think of like how can I make this in another version? How can I make this differently? It's the same recipe, the same ingredients, but we're just going to present them in a whole another way. So here we have this beautiful salad, and now we are going to make cucumber boats and fill them with my salad with pomegranate arrows on top of it. I promise it's gonna be amazing. I'm taking a cucumber. For this, you want to have a a straight cucumber, not a curvy one, because it wouldn't work. We are throwing this away. And we are taking our protective glove just because I love it so much. And we are going to cut off the edges, the top edges of this cucumber. And then we are taking the peeler once again and just peel the cucumber. If some people like the peels, just be my guest and leave the peels on. I, for some reason, not for me. So just adjust to your own liking. And it's just incredible that, what I realized, even in a raw vegan world, and even in a vegan world, when I was on a standard vegan diet, you would say everyone eats the same. Oh no, there's so many variations. Like somebody likes bananas, somebody likes persimmons, somebody likes to peel their cucumbers, other people don't like the peels. So there's so many variations, even on such a small niche of a diet, I would say. Okay, so we have our cucumber peeled. Now we're going to cut it lengthwise all the way up, just like so. Okay, so we have 2/2 of this cucumber, and you can see that this cucumber in particular is filled with seeds. I personally do not do well with cucumber seeds, and for a long time I thought that cucumbers overall are not good for me. I just not for my digestive tract. And then I once realized, well, don't throw the baby with the water. So just take out the seeds and you have a perfect boat that for me personally digests much better than with the whole cucumber. Now I'm going to take just a bowl and a spoon and spoon out the middle part of this cucumber. So just like so. And take out also this juice, I would say, from the middle part and the seeds. Take everything out. And then comes the miraculous part. Oh no, it broke. It doesn't matter. We can still save it. Okay, so we have one boat and we're gonna place it here. And then we're gonna take the other half of this cucumber and we're going to again just spoon it out, just like so, all the way. Okay, almost done, almost done. And I guess that
Marina, Dina has a question. Can you think of for a salad dressing, a warming salad dressing?
Oh, okay. A warming salad dressing. Oh, that's a good one. When you have a stronger blender and if you just blend a little bit longer, you can warm up the dressing. I don't right now have anything in particular in mind, except that my standard dressing that I repeat almost all the time, which is just the basic zucchini, and then you use any overt fat source that you want. For example, a little bit of sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds or butternut squash seeds or hemp seeds, which gives the creaminess, and then you can add some spice, just like we have done today. And if I had a stronger blender, I could blend it a little bit more longer, and you can have a warm dressing. But I do have warm dishes in my dehydrator book. And I also love this one that I was planning originally to make on this show, but obviously it's going to be made on some other occasion. It is my warm and creamy butternut squash pudding, which I just adore. So you just take butternut squash, you peel it, you deseed it, and then you cut it into 500 grams, which is maybe a pound um, of a chunk of a butternut squash, and you put it into the freezer. I know, like a freezer, but you want something warm. Wait for it, wait for it, and then you and then you and then you freeze it, and then you defrost it. And when it's defrosted, it becomes as cooked without cooking, because it becomes so soft. And then you chop it, and then you put it into the blender when it's so defrosted, and then it also has this like water coming out, and you blend it on a high speed blender for about well, maybe a minute, maybe even 2 minutes, until it gets warm. And it is delicious. It is warm, it is creamy, it is raw, it is vegan, it is one ingredient pudding. And if you want, you can add maybe a little bit of coconut, young coconut meat. Some people like to add that maybe on top. But yeah, that's warm. That's warm. So anyway, let's move on. So we have taken out the seeds, the middle parts of the cucumbers, and what we're going to just throw this away. We're not using that. And what we are left it are these boats. We have 2 boats. And now, as I guess you can imagine, I'm going to put on my hygienic gloves, and I'm just going to fill up these boats with this salad. And everything is going to look so beautifully green and fresh. And this is perfect for people who want to have something to bite on, that, you know, just like the feeling of eating a sandwich. And you have a salad pretending to be a sandwich, which is, I don't know if you, I don't know how you feel about this, but I think this is just amazing. Just like a salad on a Halloween, pretending to be a sandwich.
What do raw fooders give out for Halloween?
What to give to a raw fooder?
Yeah, what do they give for trick or treating? Like carrots, apples?
Oh, okay. Good question. Good question. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad that you mentioned carrots, because most people, when they think about eating raw, they think the image that they have in their mind is like broccoli and carrots. And I have to say that those are probably the foods that I eat almost never. When I think of raw vegan dining, this is my message. This is what I want to teach people: to not think about anything that has to be cooked in order to be palatable. Think about the foods that are already so delicious that your mouth, you would mouth water when you think about them. Think about honey mangoes. Think about ripe jackfruit. Think about the creamiest bananas. Think about ripe persimmons. So for Halloween, if you want to give me a gift, please go ahead and send me a box of honey mangoes, or medjool dates, or persimmons, or those little tropical island bananas. So that's what you can give me, and I will be so happy. And I can give you in return something similar. So anyway, we filled up these boats with the salad, and as you can see, I made a whole lot of mess here. So I'm just going to wipe this plate, because presentation matters. So if you make a mess, just like me, just clean it. Anyway, so now it's cleaner, and now I'm going to take these pomegranate arrows, and I'm just going to put them on top of these beautiful boats. And these are just bloody delicious. Oh my gosh, just look at these colors. These are, oh. Okay, so, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Decoration is so important. So we're gonna have some, I don't know why I'm singing. I don't even sing well, but I apologize for that. Anyway, so we're going to place some of these lamb lettuce here on the sides, so it looks prettier. Green always makes a plate prettier.
Do you want
Okay.
to,
Yeah,
do you
go
want,
ahead.
oh yeah, just people love to know what you or any guest that I have eat in a day?
Okay, that's such a great question, and I'm gonna reply in a second. So let me just show you what we have here. Can you see? Wait a second.
Well, when you make it that pretty, it looks amazing.
It is, I promise. So we have these boats and we have this original Marina salad. Well, or at least a version of it. So this is so yummy and so beautiful. Okay, so what I eat in a day comes next. So typically I have 2 meals a day. I eat at my lunchtime and at my dinner time because that's the schedule that that I adjusted according to my exercising program, my exercising schedule. And I would just like to mention this because when people think about eating, we are just not culturally conditioned to also think about exercising. And I think it's so important. I think it is so important that we also introduce in our cultures, not just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but fitness, yoga, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's the whole schedule because just meals is one part of the equation. Exercising along with the food intake is the whole picture. Anyway, so please ask me the like how I and how much and what I exercise in a day plus eating. That's what I want you to ask me. But since I have already asked myself, I'm gonna reply. So in the morning, I have my fitness session, which is just me doing fitness, either calisthenics or in the gym. And then I either give a yoga class in the morning because I'm a yoga teacher, or I give a yoga class in the evening. But anyway, I put into my day also the fitness class and the yoga class. And in between, I have my lunch meal and my dinner meal. For my lunch, I have a mono meal, or sometimes maybe like two fruits in a meal, but usually it's a mono meal. Mono meals means one ingredient at a time, and that ingredient would be a seasonal fruit. In this season, it is grapes. A month ago, it was figs. Before that, it was melons. Before that, it was the peaches, and then what's coming up next, it's persimmons. I'm so looking forward to December. It's one of my all-time favorite months because I adore persimmons and persimmon pudding. And then when I go to the tropics, it's honey mangoes, it's dragon fruit, it's jackfruit, it's cempedak. And then I go back to Europe and I have bananas in spring, and I'm looking forward to cherry meals, which come in May. And so I circle those 12 months with different staples every month. So in this season, it is grapes for lunch. And it is, for example, this salad, I've been having this salad for probably every single day for the past 2 weeks since I've been here. But if I don't have a salad like this, I would have zucchini zoodles with a sauce. And before my salad, I usually have some fruits as well if I feel that the salad won't satisfy my caloric needs. But today I am actually going to make a dessert and have the fruit meal after the salad. So to meet my caloric needs, because as might this salad look big to some people, it is actually calorically very poor. So even my fruit meals look big to people, but they don't understand the concept, which is called calorie density. It is such a small calorie density because those are foods that are filled with water, and water occupies space but has no calories. So in terms of how much I eat, when people see the sizes of my meals, it would be like a plate of grapes, like or persimmons. Like even I on my YouTube channel, I have videos in which I show how much I eat and how like what my meals look like, if you're interested in that. So anyway, but those are the meals that meet my caloric needs. So I hope that I answered, but if you want more clarification on this, I would be more than happy to provide. But I still haven't finished with the salads because I have a special trick here that I just love to use. So here we have what is this? Lemon. And now we're going to cut it in half. So when you're cutting any citrus fruit, you want first to press it into the table, and you want to press your palm into it and then just roll it. Can you see what I'm doing? I will have to put this out of the side. So you want to do this and then just press it so that all the juice from the sides goes into the center. And now we're just going to cut it in half. And now I just love this toy. So what we are going to do is to place this inside. And now we are going to spray a lemon juice onto the salad. Just like so. Nice. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Good job. And here. And this is like what I like to say about this spraying lemon juice on my salad is like in terms of desserts, it would be like a cherry on top of a dessert. But it has to be fresh when it comes to salads. So those would be our salads. Now, as I said, we are going to make a dessert, which is going to be just amazing because this is a dessert that I just invented myself a couple of days ago when I had a workshop here, and I had no idea what to make as a 5th recipe. On my workshops, I always make 5 recipes, and I had 4. I knew what I wanted to make, and then I was thinking, like, what can I do with the 5th recipe? And I not having my own kitchen and equipment, and then I came up with this recipe. So hear me out on this one. We are going to use Majol dates, which are very famous in the area where Chef AG comes from. So we're going to take them and we are going to take out the seeds, but also the tops of the dates, which are these little. Is there a name for this? Like a crown?
The pit, the seed, the pit.
The seed itself is here inside, but then on top of the date, there is this like a little cap where I don't know what the name of it is.
I know what you mean. And I don't, guys, do you know, is there a technical name? I know what you mean. Like it's called like the flower. I don't know. I think there is a word for it.
I think that we should call it a crown because these are queens in themselves, right? So let's call it just a crown. And here I already de-pitted a couple of other dates. With dates, I like to soak them in advance, and these dates have been soaked, so they are more moist and they are softer. And I de-pitted all these dates. I have 5 dates here. So now we're going to first fill them up. Here we have a couple of apples. We are going to take one of them, and we are going to de-seed the apple by using this little tool. We're gonna place, sorry, this is in our way. So now we're going to take this and put it through the apple itself. Okay, perfect. We have this throwing away. And now the second step would be to take a peeler and then just peel the apple all the way around. As you can see, I'm big on peeling. I don't know why. You don't have to peel if you don't like it. If you like the peel.
Margie says she thinks it's called the stem.
The stem. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for the terminology. Anyway, I have peeled my apple well. And okay, throwing away these guys. Sorry, but not sorry.
So Marina, Dana has a question. How do you suggest somebody eat more raw food when they don't care for the sweet taste? So like sweet fruit, is there a way to get?
Okay, I know that she's not the only one who has that question in mind. So you will probably develop need for sweet fruits over time if you stay raw long enough. So I would suggest that you just eat salads until you feel the true hunger on those salads, and you will just naturally seek something that is more caloric dense, and then you will direct yourself towards sweet fruits, because that's the source of calorie on a raw vegan diet. But you can definitely start with making all these quote unquote sour dishes like zucchini spaghetti and salads. But over time, you will realize that it is just not sustainable long term to be just on salads, and your body will probably start seeking fruits naturally. In addition to that, I would like to add there are some fruits that are not so sweet. For example, a dragon fruit, but you have to know when to eat dragon fruit. I'm very passionate about dragon fruit, so there is a video on my YouTube channel in which I showed you when dragon fruit is actually ripe. So it is important to know when to eat it. That's why I mentioned this. But it is not as sweet as some other sweet fruits. And then, what else? Uh, yeah, sweet fruits are sweet. But you can maybe eat some citrus fruit that is not so sweet and try with that. But I promise you, girl, if you try just to be on salads for a couple of days, your body will start asking for sweet fruits. But I also do understand you, and I know where that kind of question comes from. I always like to say that I am such an Italian soul when it comes to food, because just tell me the word pasta, and I will love you forever. So when I was on a cooked vegan diet, pasta was such a huge lifesaver for me, because I was eating I was eating, as I said, potatoes, oatmeal, lentils, and pasta. Sorry, I forgot that one. But like a whole meal plus pasta. And when I switched to a raw vegan diet, zucchinis were my go-to food, because I can make so much pasta with them, and all these like delicious zucchini zoodles and spaghetti and even lasagna. So there's a way. And currently in the bundle that is available, you have so many different recipes, savory recipes, that is just amazing. It is not just fruit recipes, definitely. So anyway, I would prefer to shred these apples, but as I said, I am not in my own kitchen, which is fully equipped with all these tools for preparing dishes. Now I'm just going to slice this apple really, really finely, and I'm going to place one, maybe even two or three, whichever way you prefer, into each date. Basically, we are replacing the seeds that were in the dates with apples, and we are going to make these little quote-unquote sandwiches, just like so. And I just realized that what would be really nice, if I had some fresh mint leaves now, I would put one fresh mint leaf into each date with the apple itself. So here, and
since you mentioned calorie density, do you know about how many pounds of food you must have to eat a day as a raw food person?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's such a great question, and it really depends on the season and which fruit I have as my staple. Because, for example, of course, if you are eating dates, you can get in over like 1,000 calories in maybe 400 grams of dates. But if you're eating watermelon, you will need a lot more of watermelon, because it has so much water. There is a reason why it's called watermelon, right? So I typically eat 4 to 5 kilos of food every single day. And I've been doing this for the past 9.5 years. And 4 to 5, let's say 4 kilos of fruit or of food, fruit plus veggies, 4 kilos would probably 8 pounds. Is it 8 pounds? Or
that could be. Well, I think a kilo is 2.2 pounds, I think.
Okay, yeah. So I eat around 8 pounds of food every single day, and that's what I've been doing since 2012. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's the way it is.
No, I mean, I think it's fine because you have to when you have low caloric density. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, Barbara Rolls, Penn State says people have to eat about 3 to 5 pounds a day. And if it's a low caloric density, you have to either have to increase the calories or increase the volume.
Yeah, that's so true. But you know, like for some people, that amount of food looks big, but that's the food that just passes through your intestines if your intestines are clean. But that's a whole another story. While the foods that are dehydrated and they have such a small volume due to their high calorie density, they tend to stick in your intestines, and then over time they accumulate in your intestine, and that leads to so many so-called diseases nowadays. And I just wish we see that, you know, the medicine and the awareness around the what is inside your intestines, it affects your brain and the whole of your body, is more out there, that people are more aware of it. So yeah, anyway, I eat about 4 to 5 kilos of fruits and vegetables every single day. That would be probably around 8 to 9 pounds of food.
Sounds
And
good
yeah,
to me.
I'm so glad you asked me this, because when people sometimes okay, I'm going to say this respectfully. When people come from the background of restricting calories and dieting all day long, they like to um, um, they like to think of a raw vegan diet as of another diet, and then they pretend that they are on a raw vegan diet, but in fact they are dieting again. So you know, I know people who are doing this, and I'm just not in favor of this. But then on the other hand, I see that people go in other extreme, and they overeat under excuse that they are on a raw vegan diet. So there are two extremes. And what I like to do is to make a protocol for myself, and over time, I just train my body to know what is my calorie needs, how much I exercise a day. I have like I train my body to just love my schedule, my fitness, my yoga, my meals, and my body just has adapted over time, has been trained to seek for these activities in my daily schedule. And I'm saying this because I think this is so important. I know so many people who are just lost when it comes to food. I know people who are eating not noticing that they are eating. They just like grab everything that is in front of their eyes because they haven't trained their body on a certain schedule. So yeah, that's just how I go around it, and it works for me, and I think it can be very useful for people who are just a little bit confused with this part of their life.
So
Anyway.
question from Colleen, how come you used iceberg lettuce instead of the more dark green ones that she says are more nutrient dense? And I would say,
I'm so glad you asked this. Okay, let me tell you a secret, girl. And this is something that you should write down, okay, on your forehead. What goes into your mouth doesn't mean that it will go in your cells. So let me repeat this because I messed up the first time. What goes into your mouth doesn't mean it will go into your cells. It doesn't mean what is the most nutritious food. What means is it is what is most digestible for your human digestive tract. Those, I'm not going to name the names, but there are some proponents of this, like the most nutrient diet on the planet. Just eat the darkest leafy greens available. And I'm seeing this with a lot of respect towards the proponents of that, but they don't understand how the body works. So what goes into your mouth doesn't mean it will go in your cells. You have to eat that which your body is adapted to, and that's tender leafy greens that are easily digestible, and fruits. In other words, nutrients in the food are not the value that you get from the food. That's just the potential of the food. If they are packed in cellulose, you don't have ability to break down those cellulose, so you don't have ability to access those minerals that are quote unquote locked in the cellulose. On the other hand, if you eat foods that are maybe have less nutrient value, but are more digestible, your body will get more of those nutrients. So yeah, that's my take on that. Those are my
Well,
two
well,
cents.
Dr. Lyle actually talked about this on the 700th episode about how there's
He's so smart.
yeah, that we don't need to eat this type of green for this and this type of berry for this, that our body, if we are missing something, will recycle it. So he has a wonderful video called Nutrient Obsession, Stop It Now on YouTube if you want to know more about that. But Colleen also said she doesn't have time to chew all those 8 pounds of food.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so glad you asked me this. So it seems like a lot, but it's not. Because okay, let me put this like this. When I sit down for my lunch, for example, today I had my lunch of grapes, and I usually eat about 1.7 kilos of grapes, which would be 1,700 grams of grapes. I don't know how much that is in pounds. So
454 grams is a pound, so that would be like 3 pounds.
Yeah, something like that. And that would be like I ate
It's only like 600 calories, though.
600.
Well, I think
would
grapes
say-
are like 200 calories a pound.
Well, I think this was like about 1,000 calories because I eat twice a day, and usually my first meal is around 1,000 calories because my intake on daily basis is around 2,000 calories. So anyway, yeah, you know, when I sit for just to have those grapes, for example, in this season, it will take me maybe less than half an hour, and then the dinner. Yeah, if I make a big salad, it can take longer. But you know, if you don't have time to eat and you don't have time for yourself to nourish your body, what do you have time for? Isn't that like the most important? I know you're going to tell me probably, oh, but I have this and that. No, you don't have any of those. If you let them have you and your life, that might be your choice. But in fact, if you just take a minute, a step back, you will see that you don't have any of those. You only have obligation to take a good care of your body. So no, you do have time for that, okay? You might not have time for something else, but don't sacrifice your meals and your health, please. I hope you're satisfied with my answer. If not, I can clarify more. So anyway, now we're going to roll the pieces of cucumbers, slices of cucumbers into these like little sandwiches, apple date sandwiches. And as I said, if you have some fresh mint, it will be so refreshing and nice to have a leaf of mint in each of those dates. So here we're going to cut really thin slices of cucumbers. If you have a mandolin slicer, that's amazing. Or if you have a Maggi Mix processor, which I absolutely love and I'm using it, then use one of those. But if you are a little bit restricted with your equipment, just like I am here, then use what you have and just cut some really thin slices for those rolls. Okay. I have to add this. So for those who tell me they don't have time, for example, to sit down and eat grapes, and they have to cook something and then eat it, what I think from this perspective of being on a raw vegan diet for the past 9.5 years, I always think, oh, I don't have time to cook that. I just need my grapes, eat them, and move on with my life. So, so it's all about perspective. If you, after a couple of years on a raw vegan diet, your perspective, I promise, will be, I don't have time for the stove. I don't have time to cook, or I don't have time to do the dishes after I cook. So it's all about perspective, I promise. So anyway,
well, you're true. And the cleanup's got to be so much easier. You're not, you don't have a lot of dirty pots and pans. You don't have to clean the oven, so you save time.
Absolutely. But I'm gonna be honest here. When I make some like fancier meals, there is a lot of dishes. There's a lot of dishes, and there is like well, there's a dishwasher for a reason, I guess. But at least I don't have to deal with anything that has been burnt potentially in the oven, and then I have to clean the oven. But you still have to clean the dehydrator, and you still have to clean the blender. But the big difference is that you don't have to do it, because all the ingredients that you just prepare to look culinary beautiful are already edible and fully digestible before being prepared. So that's a huge difference. Now, we are going to take one by one of these like little apple date and preferably mint as well sandwiches, and now we're going to roll them into these cucumber slices. And these rolls, I promise, it's like the next level. So just take a look at this. You see, you have a date, you have an apple, and you have a roll of a cucumber. And if you have a fresh mint inside, that's a level up. So we're going to make 5 of this, and I just took 5 because I had 5 days, but you can make as many as you want. And if you have some guests, just make them these, and they are going to go wild over them, I promise. So we are doing this. Okay, does anyone else has any question for me?
Let me look. That is Tracy corrected me. Grapes are 300 calories a pound, not 200. So that would be close to 1,000 calories.
Yeah. Yes. So I eat twice a day, and I exercise. Well, I have a fitness class and I have a yoga class, but nothing crazy. Sometimes, well, I tend to have intense classes, but they're quite like sometimes short but intense, and sometimes longer but not so intense, which is in my mind just waste of time. I like it short and intense. And then for me, 2,000 calories a day works perfectly. So in the first meal, I like to have around 1,000 from a fruit meal, and then in the evening another 1,000 from a fruit plus salad or zucchini noodles or something like that. And here I wanted to say something else, but I forgot.
That's okay. Ridwana says, what kind of fruit do you recommend for, wait, where did it go? Was it cooling or warming? But I saw.
Okay, well, that's such a great question. Thank you. Just think about this. All the answers are provided for us in nature. So in nature during summer in this northern hemisphere, what fruits do we have? We tend to have watermelons. Why? Because they cool the body. But in winter, many people, what they don't know is that the market so far hasn't been fair to us and hasn't been providing all the fruits that we need to thrive in our health. So we need tropical fruits. Durian would be one of the fruits that warms up the body, just because it is calorically denser, and just because it is harder to digest, so it quote unquote warms up the body. And what you can also use is, for example, my warm and creamy butternut squash pudding, which is a little bit warm. But what I really want to encourage people here is not to rely on food to warm them up. What you should be relying on in terms of warming up your body is fitness activity. I know so many people who are eating cooked food, and immediately after they finish the meal, they have to wrap themselves in a blanket because they are so cold, because their circulation is non-existent. You have to move your body. And that's the truth. But it's so beautiful. When you start on this lifestyle where you exercise every day and you have like raw vegan meals, and it just becomes your passion. It just becomes your life. And I'm saying this because sometimes when people hear about my lifestyle, they think, oh, that's so hard, or she lives like as if she's living in some kind of a like army. And I always wanted to be an army, in my own army. So it is just beautiful. So let me show you these. These are these cucumber apple, preferably with mint. Can you see this? Date rolls.
Yeah, that actually looks really good.
Yeah, it is. I promise. So Everything is so green and fresh and sweet at the end. And so this would be my presentation. I hope that you enjoy it. If you have any other questions for me, so please go ahead and ask me now or be quiet forever.
How many other raw fooders are there in Serbia or Croatia?
I wish I could tell you Serbia is a raw vegan country, but my darling, that would be a lie. So I don't really know a lot of full-time raw foodies in my area. However, I do know people who like the idea of going raw, and I do know quite a number of people from around the world that are raw vegans. But where I live, well, everyone eats a salad once in a while, so I wish I could tell there are more, but no, I don't know the exact number, but it's not big. Anyway.
Does it make it difficult to socialize at all?
Oh, well, thank you for asking me this question. I, I've been to so many different fruit festivals around the world, and living, for example, over the years, spending winters in Chiang Mai, where there are so many raw vegans, and just spending even online time on online events like this raw vegan bundle allows me to feel that I am socializing with people who have the same interests with me, but I'm also socializing in person with people who are very dear to my heart and have absolutely different beliefs around the diet. And we still socialize. What I like to think about this is that we come together not in order to eat the very same food, but in order to talk and exchange experiences and thoughts and just love, in a sense of just to be friends and share our friendship time. So or relatives or families. So we are coming together to share experiences, to share love, to share our talks. Even if people are on a very same diet, be that a raw vegan, vegetarian, you name it, when they go to a restaurant, they probably won't have the exact same meal. Some will have a salad, some will have some fruit meal, or some will have dates and apples, but others will have dates and just dates, or it's different. Even on a standard diet, if this is the most common example that I like to use, if a bunch of friends go to a pizza place, will all of them have the very same pizza? So, but they are still together. So, I tend to socialize despite my diet.
Nice. And how do you work with people if people are interested in working with you?
Well, thank you so much for that. On my website, healthglows.net, there is a section which is called programs, and there you can find my courses, my online courses. I have two yoga online courses. I have my membership Health Glows online course, in which I coach people on how to go raw, but also all about the theory of going raw, which is made in 31 lessons plus the bonus lessons. Because whenever I coach people about going raw, what I tell them is forget about food, forget about your meal plans, forget about the recipes. First, education, because I want you to understand in your mind, why would you go raw vegan in the first place? And when you have that click in your mind, then we can move on to recipes and meal plans. And when we have meal plans and recipes and your tummy is happy, we are moving on to the third part of my course, which is fitness and yoga. We are introducing that in addition to recipes and all the education. And then the fourth part would be just most common questions answered and bonus lessons and bonus recipes. So that's what I offer. And I also offer one-on-one coaching. Also, everything is available through my website. There are registration forms, and people can find me there. And they can also just connect with me through Instagram, where I am active on daily basis. I am posting all the time. My Instagram page is Health Glows, and also my YouTube channel, where I make one video per week. every single week, sometimes even more. Sometimes I miss, but that's where Health Glows. So healthglows.net programs, and that's where you can find my coaching courses and programs.
Great. I have the link to the website and the Instagram, but what's your YouTube channel called?
Health Glows. You can find me on different platforms, all under Health Glows.
Nice. Well, Dina says, can I have her on for another hour? I could, except that I have being interviewed by somebody else at 1 o'clock. Well, this was so wonderful, Marina. Thank you so much. I hope people will definitely check out the bundle because you have a wonderful book in it. I looked at it, all dehydrated recipes, and it's just fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for mentioning this. What I wanted to give to people with this book is that this is the book for all of people who still want to, quote unquote, bake something, because I know it is engraved into so many people that they just feel comfort when they put their food into something and then it comes out a little bit with a different texture, and it smells so good and it is warm. It just feels so good and comforting, and that's what I wanted to share with this book. My book has over 49, it has 49 recipes, and all the recipes are grouped into different sections, as I always do. And then you have like a section Italian soul, which is me, and it is all about pasta. And then you have sandwiches and different sandwiches, and you have patties. I love patties, just vegetable or fruit patties, you name it, I'm in. Like, I love them. And then I have a couple of more groups of like all the recipes are categorized to the according to the theme of the group. And I also have how to make spices and how to even make a home decoration that it just looks beautiful. And yeah, it's how to decorate your home with a dehydrator and food.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Marina.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. Once again, I want to apologize to everyone for being late. It just happened that last night in this part of the world, the time zone was changed for an hour in advance. So at 7:20 when we began, I was so sure that I was 40 minutes early. I was waiting for another 40 minutes. I would wait for another 40 minutes. And then I got an email from Chef AJ telling me that we are late. And I was like, how is this possible? And then we realized it was the time change. So I just want to ask everyone to forgive me for this, for messing up and being late. I had the best intention to be on time.
Well, no, that's okay. It was fine. And you know what? If people want another hour of you, they can watch your first time you were on where you did that beautiful raw vegan candy box.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, if you would recall, that was actually our second show. This is the third one because the first one was last December when I was in Dubai, and I was also making the Russian night, the Russian dinner.
Why don't I remember that? Well, considering I've done close to 800 shows, but I don't remember that.
Oh, sorry. It was on Let's Cook Raw.
That's where I met you. Yes. See, yeah, you've been on, this is your second time. That's where I first saw you and invited you.
Yeah, that's where we connected.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. Well, fantastic. And thanks again, Marina. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Tomorrow is the last day of the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. And we are having Glissa Maris from Raw Food Romance at the special time of 9 a.m. And she's going to be making food from her brand new holiday party food book, Jalapeno Poppers. Have you tried any of the other chef recipes in the bundle?
Myself?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I actually filmed how I was making many of different recipes from different chefs. And those short videos are available on my Instagram profile in the Reels. And I just have to say that all the chefs have been so creative and prepared such beautiful books, such beautiful presentations and recipes. It just blows my mind to think about how much contribution everyone has given. The recipes are just amazing. Talking about Melissa, she has given everything that she has. Like she has given her all to this bundle. It is just amazing. She has contributed to with two books, and her book that she's going to prepare recipes from tomorrow. It's amazing. It is like party foods and all these little appetizers and finger foods. They're just so cute and so creative. And then we also have the holiday bundle, which just looks amazing, and I'm looking forward to create more recipes. So short answer is yes, I have, and they are amazing.
That's great. Well, thanks again. And guys, don't forget, we have Lissa at 9 and Dr. McDougall at 11. Take care, Marina. Bye-bye.